You're listening to Vaquero News.
Good Monday morning, Vaqueros. I'm Justin Elizalde.
And I'm Victor Ramirez.
We hope you had a safe and restful weekend. At the top of the news this morning, COVID-19 cases are surging across the Rio Grande Valley. We spoke to some medical experts about how prepared they feel. COVID-19 cases are beginning to rise for a second time across the Rio Grande Valley since the first surge this past summer. According to the Texas Department of State Health Services COVID-19 dashboard as of Friday, 28% of the valley's hospitalizations were COVID-19 patients. Cameron County Health Authority Dr. James Castillo says the rise was already being seen after the Thanksgiving holiday. DSHS Region 11 Medical Director Dr. Emily Pro says the difference between the first surge to now is more treatment options.
We have more therapeutics, so we do have different options for people.
Pro says the therapeutic offered is Regeneron, a monoclonal antibody treatment for patients with mild to moderate COVID-19 symptoms given at infusion centers. Castillo says the state assisted in opening the infusion centers and are just one step to help patients.
And we've already treated more than 600 people in an effort to take some pressure off of the hospitals.
He says the infusions being used now are something that hadn't been available during the summer spike. Chief Nursing Officer for Harlingen Medical Center, Amy Flores, says her hospital is preparing for a second surge, but worries about space.
But the issue that you will see probably across the valley is room. When we have a lot of patients that need to be admitted, at some point, eventually you run out of space.
Flores says the hospital does have plans in place to address any spacing issues after learning from the first surge in the summer. She also urges people to continue to practice social distancing, wearing masks, and minimize gatherings to curb the spread of the virus. Vaquero Radio attempted to contact Hidalgo County Health Authority Dr. Ivan Melendez, but we did not hear back. We also attempted to contact UT Health RGV Chief Medical Officer Dr. Michael Dobbs and Dean of UT RGV School of Medicine Dr. John Kraus, but they were unavailable to speak. For Vaquero News, I'm Justin Elizalde.
A new organization on campus will give an equal chance to students artists to tell their stories. Reporter Rodolfo Alvadaro has the story.
A new student organization at UTRGV will allow artists the opportunity to share their stories. It's being called Equal Arts Production, or the EAP, and will focus on bringing film and theater projects to life. Theater and Mass Communications senior Berlin Tijerina is one of the co-founders of the organization. She says a goal for the organization is to bring equality within the film industry.
There's not a lot of equality when it comes to gender and race and even sexuality. A lot of stories aren't really told.
According to Tijerina, any student regardless of major can join. EAP faculty advisor Dustin Pruitt explains how this organization will allow for students to gain experience in production.
It could be an outlet for many roles. This could be an outlet for them to hone their skills or have, a demo reel of the productions that they were a part of.
EAP Treasurer John Medrano says the organization wants to create more projects.
Not only will it make us feel good, but to be able to show to the public or even to the students, it could probably influence them or inspire them to pursue our fields.
Tijerina also serves as a UTRGV Student Government Association Senator for the College of Fine Arts. She says the idea to start the organization came from students voicing their concerns to her.
Many students have said, I wish there was this, I wish there was that, I wish there was some type of community where we can come together and really make our own stuff.
Tijerina says once a project is chosen, rehearsals and practice will be conducted through Zoom due to the pandemic and will be filmed instead of performed live. According to Tijerina, the organization is working to get a V-Link page as of this time. This is Rodolfo Alvarado for Vaquero News.
In case you missed it, Joe Biden was inaugurated Wednesday as the 46th president for the United States. Here's our coverage.
At this hour, my friends, democracy has prevailed.
It was a historic day. Joe Biden swore in as 46th President of the United States Wednesday morning on the U.S. Capitol's West Front. Senator Amy Klobuchar says America witnesses a moment of first as Kamala Harris takes her oath.
To administer the oath to our first African American, our first Asian American, and our first woman vice president, Kamala Harris, it is my great privilege to welcome to the inaugural stage the first Latina to ever serve on the Supreme Court of the United States of America, Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Lady Gaga sang the Star-Spangled Banner adorned with a large gold dove carrying a fig leaf, the universal sign of peace. The theme of peace echoed in the incoming president's inaugural address as he called on Americans to unite.
This is our historic moment of crisis and challenge, and unity is the path forward. And we must meet this moment as the United States of America.
Biden asked all Americans to start fresh.
Hear one another, see one another, show respect to one another. Politics doesn't have to be a raging fire, destroying everything in its path. Every disagreement doesn't have to be a cause for total war.
Another historic moment was youth poet laureate Amanda Gorman, who at 22 became the youngest person to deliver an inaugural poem. Gorman's poem, The Hill We Climb, solidifies the incoming president's words of unity.
We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside.
Visit utrgvradio.com for the full story. For Vaquero News, I'm Justin Elizalde.
And throws down a monster dunk. That fires up the UTRGV Fieldhouse.
And now time for Vaquero Sports.
Volleyball begins their much-awaited 2021 season. Luis Rubio has the story.
After 428 matchless days, UTRGV Volleyball makes their much-awaited return to the court against UTSA and Texas A&M Corpus Christi on the road to get the 2021 season underway. The Vaqueros were in a back-and-forth match until the fifth and final set, losing 18-16 against the Roadrunners in the season opener. Senior middle blocker Veronica Jandova accounts for a team-high 19 kills, and graduate setter Mackenzie Coates dishes out 50 assists in her first start for UTRGV. The Islanders, in the first matchup of the South Texas Showdown, defeat the Vaqueros in straight sets. That didn't stop senior outside hitter Samuel Caraballo from recording a team-high 9 kills and 11 digs, and Jandova finishing with 8 kills. The Vaquero season will be unique from a schedule standpoint, as they will only have one non-conference game remaining, and WAC games will be held on back-to-back days. Volleyball head coach Tal Lowry says the team has been preparing conditioning-wise, but the back-to-back may affect court performance on the second day.
It's going to be the team that can physically recover and mentally recover and go back out and do the same things they did the first night at a high level.
Lowry also points out the positive effects that reduced travel can have on his team in what is going to be an exhausting conference season.
The physical stress of the matches will probably be a little bit more intense, but we get rid of some of that extra travel stress and sleeping in unfamiliar places stress, changing hotels, all those kind of things that have gone with the traditional WAC season.
Lowry says he wants his team to increase competition and focus on controlling errors.
We really want to focus on the defensive side of the ball and learn how to compete and learn how to extend rallies and just kind of be a gritty team that won't go away.
The next matchup for the Vaqueros will be on the road at 7 p.m. February 1st and 1 p.m. February 2nd against new WAC member Dixie State. For more updates and highlights, visit goutrgv.com. For Vaquero Radio, I'm Luis Rubio.
For today's weather report.
Don't forget to lock down your locks today, as it will be windy. A cold front will be arriving Wednesday to bring highs down to the 70s in the daytime for much of the week, but you can expect temperatures to drop by the 50s by the evening. Partly to mostly cloudy skies are expected for much of the rest of the week. That's it for this week's weather report. Stay tuned for campus events.
And now for this week's event calendar.
Student Union will be showing Easy A via Netflix watch party today at 6 p.m. You can RSVP through their V-Link.
Leadership and Mentoring is hosting a virtual involvement fair Wednesday at 5 and 7 p.m. and Thursday at 12 noon and 2 p.m. for students interested in learning more about organizations on campus. That is all for this week's news. If you have any story ideas, send us an email to radio@utrgv.edu. You can also send us a message by following us on Twitter @Vaquero Radio or liking our Facebook page @UTRGV Radio. Did you know Vaquero Radio has an app? Download the Radio FX app through the App Store or Google Play Store. Search Vaquero Radio and add us to your favorites. You can listen to music, chat in during DJ hours, and much more. Want to host your own DJ show? Visit our website at utrgvradio.com to find out more information or to apply. Thank you, Vaqueros. We'll see you next Monday at 9 a.m. here on Vaquero Radio.
This has been Vaquero News.